gunman on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel just before the shooter started his rampage. ABC's Matt Gutman has the story. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. Like so many hundreds of people, that security officer never saw the bullets coming. We now know he walked right into Stephen Paddock's carefully laid trap on the 32nd floor, designed to stall the response of law enforcement. But despite being shot, that security officer may have saved multiple lives.
First of all, how are you both doing?
I'm doing better each day, slowly but surely, just healing physically and mentally.
I imagine that you relived that a lot.
Jesus Campos, the Mandalay Bay security officer who was Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock's first victim, describing that deadly night for the first time on the Ellen DeGeneres show airing today. Campos telling the talk show host that he was sent to investigate a door alarm on the 32nd floor, finding the interior doors to the stairwell drilled shut.
And at that time,
So you can see here on their diagram the names of these two individuals are not on there, on that diagram. So we're going to see something happen here in a second, well, maybe another minute, but their names are going to come up again. So they've already said that the interior doors were drilled shut. I guess that would be these doors over inside the stairwell there. And then I guess he says the second stairwell door slammed shut, possibly attracting Paddock's attention. And then you're going to see on this video that they end up putting Jesus down here in this doorway, and then this other guy, that dude, the engineer or whatever, in the other doorway across the hall from him, down one. So this, number one, this wasn't shot live, right? Obviously it was pre-recorded with probably nobody in the studio, because at some point they had to switch the board, but I didn't see it switch, which they could have done just with editing. So here we go, we'll start it back up.
heard what I assumed it was drilling sounds, and I believe that they were in the area working somehow.
Yep.
So they were in the area working somehow. Who's he talking about? Who is they? I don't know if that's on purpose or that's an accident. And who the they are that he's referring to.
Campos then called engineering to report this situation, and as he re-enters the hallway, the second stairwell door slams behind him, he says, attracting Stephen Paddock's attention.
I heard it.
So they're still not, their names still aren't in there yet. So it's coming up because I saw it.
Rapid fire, and
You can see the board's not moving.
I took cover.
The board's still right there.
I felt the burning sensation. I went to go lift my pant leg up, and I saw the blood. That's when I called it in.
And then there's an edit there.
Shots have been fired, and I was gonna say that
And then the names still aren't there yet.
I was hit, but I got all over my cell phone just to clear that radio traffic, or they can coordinate the rest.
Yeah, so as I suspected, even if this guy's not a citizen, he's still a security guard at Mandalay Bay. He's not a douchebag. He's not a retard. So he was smart enough to use his cell phone to clear the air so they could coordinate a response. Right? A lot of people think that these security guards are just two-bit nobodies. Maybe in a small town, you know, at the local Walmart, there's a bunch of idiots, but this guy knows what he's doing. He works at a gigantic, you know, gambling casino where there's, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, or at least tens of millions of dollars changing hands every day. So these guys have to be qualified.
So the call.
Moments later, that engineer, Stephen Shuck, arrived in the hallway completely unaware that he's walking right into the shooter's trap.
It wasn't in the hallway yet. Jesus, he leaned out and he said, take cover, take cover.
So he leaned out and said, take cover, take cover. It's hard to say where that happened from, but they're going to try to show you here.
Yelled at me, and within milliseconds, if he didn't say that, I would have got hit.
And were guests coming out of the doorways?
There was a female that came out, and I told her to go back inside. It wasn't safe.
Okay, so now you can see here, they've got names there. Jesus is in that doorway. And this other guy, Steven, he's up the hallway, across the hallway, in another doorway. There's the suite. These are the inside doors to the stairwell here. And then the outside door, which apparently they're calling the second door. So he went in there, saw that it was screwed shut or whatever, and said they were working in there. And then he came out here and ended up down here in this hallway after, and he's telling people go back in the elevators all the way down this hallway. You know, if you've seen the top view of the Mandalay Bay, it's like 2 jacks connected by one. It's all the way down at the Y in the road there, and then you know, to the right is the elevators. So now they got him designated here and here. That makes anybody escaping through this stairwell impossible unless they escaped ahead of time. The they. Who is the they that Campos referred to?
Shortly after, that's when Steven was approaching, and I told him to stay back and get covered. And that's when more rounds were.
Stay back, get cover, and he's covered in that doorway. 200 rounds down that hallway, and that puny-ass doorway was able to give them enough cover so that only one of them gets hit. That doorway, right there. Anybody that's been to Vegas knows that the doors are almost right in the fucking hallway. So this doesn't make sense. The timeline change doesn't make sense. 200 rounds jettisoning down the hallway, hits this dude once. Nothing for Steven. Steven never is even grazed. Doesn't even, you know, probably doesn't even catch a whiff of the gunpowder or the snap as the bullet goes by him. That's impossible, right? So the whole timeline changes everything. The FBI, or at least this Rouse guy, the whole thing needs to be fucking...
That's when Steven was approaching, and I told him to stay back and get covered. And that's when more rounds were dispersed.
Wow. So, and I mean, really, he saved your life, and he saved also the woman that came out of the door to go into the hallway.
That account seems to clarify weeks of confusion about the shooting's timeline. We now know that Jesus Campos was indeed the shooter's first victim, but so many questions remain, including what drove Stephen Paddock.
Does that clarify everything for you? It will be clarified. It is totally clarified now. There are no questions to be asked. There are no conspiracies here. Turn around and go home. Move along now. Nothing to see.
Into this rampage, and why after 12 minutes he stopped shooting. George.
Yeah, there's still so much to know about the motivation there. Okay, thanks very much.
What?
About the motivation? Are you serious? The whole thing's still a mystery. The whole thing's still a mystery, and it's the FBI's fault that it's a mystery. God bless my fellow Americans, and good luck.